It's terrifying. Being a prisoner in the freedom of your own thoughts, inside the cells of your mind. It can be paralyzing to desire normalcy but feel trapped inside of your own personal horror loop, unable to move forward to obtain your goals. You fall deep into a dark abyss of depression,
defining your own depression,
moving further and further away from your hopes.
What triggers your depression?
Your dreams, they now have become nightmares. You've sunken into a place where your ambitions feel so far and out of reach. You feel hopeless, lost, alone, and unsure of how to get out. Searching for anything that can spark a ray of light to get you through.
Your search is now over. Let's work together on removing the shame and stigma that is associated with mental health challenges in our community. Join us now and every week as we share stories of inspiration, provide tools to help you find your way through, and encourage you to continue on the path to connecting with your light within. Welcome to the Cypher Health Mates. Let's talk about healing. The Mental Health Cypher. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Mental Health Cypher. This is SoulScribe.
And I'm the Urban Yogi.
And as we welcome you back tonight, we're going to do a little different show tonight. We're going to be talking about a countdown and how we can let things that we hear, idioms and phrases and quotes that we hear said to us, how they can make us stagnant and keep us from moving forward. So tonight, our show topic is 10 popular sayings that keep people stagnant, because sometimes people can think they're motivating us and inspiring us and trying to help us do things. Even when we read posts, we see quotes, memes, whatever ways that people express and create different visuals and motivational speeches for us to hear. They think that they're helping us and they have the best intentions there, but sometimes in our minds, we still find ourselves stuck. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, and giving a kind of like a different point of view on how, even with the best intentions, the things people say can keep us stagnant. So, Sai, let's go with number 10.
Good things come to those that wait.
And how can that make us stagnant if we hear good things comes to those who wait?
I believe that popular saying makes us stagnant because it puts you in a state of mind of inactivity. It's not applicable to all things. It sounds good, and many times it does come into fruition, but using it as a strategy for self-development, for personal growth, for manifestation, to move forward, it will keep you stagnant, because it's pretty much saying that if you're patient, that which you desire, that which you want, will mysteriously and magically appear with you not putting any effort or action behind it.
That makes complete sense. So that was number 10. Good things come to those who wait. Number 9 is love hurts. I feel like love hurts makes people stagnant, because if you're in any type of relationship with others, romantic relationship, partnerships with friends, familiar relationships, any type of activity with another human where you are relating to them, you can be hurt. And I think some people, when they say love hurts, it's like love is supposed to be painful, but it's like, no, it's not supposed to be painful. Love is supposed to be something that is, in my opinion, peaceful, and that makes me feel good about myself. And I look at it as like, when I'm loving myself, it's a good thing, a quote unquote good thing, and it makes me feel good. So no, love is not supposed to hurt. And it's like, if love is supposed to hurt, is pain is supposed to feel good? Number 8.
Always stay positive. I used to be extremely negative person. Then when I learned to be positive, I became extremely positive person. And I stayed positive all the time, even when it didn't serve my best interest to stay positive. I wrote a blog one time when my old website I had called "Is There a Positive Side to Being Negative?" And what I learned was negativity is a mindset that does have secondary gains and benefits to it. Just like positivity, you need the positive and negative charges working together as one to function. So an example of looking at something negative would be, I'm gonna jump off of this roof, 3 stories high, and I'm positive I'll be able to fly. I'm positive that I can land on my feet. I'm positive I won't get hurt. And someone say, if you jump off of that, you're gonna hurt yourself. Oh man, stop being negative. I know that's a corny illustration of it, but basically that's the first thing that came to my mind. That's an example of how a negative could be a positive if you're not always looking at something from a singular lens, but you're looking at it from the duality, because we live in a world of duality, so you got to take the good with the bad, the day with the night, the left with the right, and the negative with the positive, and use them together as a whole. Staying positive is important, but you can't stay positive. You can, it's your choice. But it doesn't behoove you to stay positive in all situations, especially when you're talking about moving forward in personal growth.
Right. That makes complete sense, especially when we go to number, what are we on? 10, 9, 8, 7? Yeah, to number 7, which is it's all working out for your good. And I think they even have like a gospel song now out where it's like no matter what happens to me, it's all working out for my good. And I used to say that a lot too when I started to get into using affirmatives a lot. No matter what happens to me, it's all happening out for my good. And it is a good quote and affirmative to have and use in your life. However, again, it can cause you stagnation because it's like you're sitting down and instead of putting effort and action towards things or using your own discernment to make decisions, you are just relying on the universe or source or God or ancestors, whatever word you want to put in there, to say, well, it's all working out for my highest good anyway. You still have to, no matter what's going on, you still have to put forth the initiative and effort to keep yourself moving and keep whatever is going on that you want to happen flowing for yourself. Number 6.
Time heals all wounds. No, it doesn't. Time will make you forget, or time will have you to block or dismiss something that brought you pain, something that hurt you, but it doesn't heal you. That doesn't equate to healing. You need to put in some work to heal. And over time will heal all wounds if you put in work actively to heal. It's not applicable to all situations and all things all the time.
And coming around for the midway, we have number 5, which is don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. When we're working on projects, when we're going through things in our personal life, sometimes we hear you're not supposed to share everything with everybody. You're supposed to keep secrets to yourself. And that is true. You don't want to broadcast everything. However, it can cause stagnation because you don't want to hold everything in as well. sometimes, me personally, I found myself holding things in, and it is a direct reflection of being afraid to be vulnerable. And when we're talking about mental health, when we're talking about going after our dreams and goals, sometimes it helps. And I think we've probably mentioned it probably on about every show. You got to be able to open up and share. It's important to be able to talk things out with someone, write things out, get things out of your head, off of your chest, so you'll be able to express them, to hear yourself say it, and also to allow someone else to just receive whatever your idea is, whatever the pain is that you're feeling, whatever the growth spurt that you're having. Just to be able to share sometimes helps us, well, excuse me, most times helps us to be able to continue pushing forward instead of always being in our head and stuck in the same place. You good over there, Si?
I am.
All right, what's your next one?
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. In an ideal world, that will be true. But there are things that, if they're not addressed, if they're not worked upon, it will actually make you weaker. You're not going to just get stronger by default because you survived something traumatic or something painful or something hurtful. And the whole thinking behind all of these sayings and all of these popular phrases that we get so used to using, especially when it comes to our mental health, is positive affirmations and mantras and things of that nature are powerful tools to use in your self-development, but over time, some of the ones that we rely upon are no longer, they don't have the same power that they used to have. You know, it's too much things that happen. It's too much growth that took place. It's too much conscious beings expanding past these sayings that no longer provide the same comfort and power and spark that it used to. And I was a big proponent of whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but I no longer can co-sign on that anymore because it takes more than just surviving to get stronger. If that was the case, then just thinking about going to the gym would equate to having muscle mass and being fit. No, you got to put that work in, especially after you've overcame something traumatic or painful or hurtful.
Yeah, it's like people become immune to it. Like if you've taken a certain medicine and after a while, a certain pain medicine or something, and after a while, you've taken it so much that your body's immune to it. So now you got to ask the doctor for a higher dosage. And that's pretty much what happens when we repeat these things over and over and over again to get ourselves out of a certain place in our head. And then, you know, after a while, it's like, this ain't working either. I got to find something better. Give me another shot, doc. Number 3 we have is curiosity killed the cat. And I say that this makes people stagnant because when the saying curiosity killed the cat is pretty much that you're not supposed to look around to discover new things is what I get from it, because the cat got killed by being so curious. And it's the total opposite of that. If you stop where you are and think that that's all that there is, you're going to be stagnant. There are many different things to continue to explore. It's not, be careful, I will say, because I don't like trying to tell people what to do. But be very careful with thinking that your way is the right way or is the only way, and that it's not different ideas, different ways of doing things, ways that you can explore and find something different just by going over to the window and pulling back the curtain a little bit to see who's outside. Always, it helps with being more creative. If you're stagnant, it helps you to maybe even feel a little bit more better about yourself, because if you are looking around, social media is big in our generation right now. So if you're looking around, you may stumble upon a group that has something and is talking about something that directly reflects something that you're going through, something that you have experience with. And by just clicking that join button, you're opened up to another resource for whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you need help with. So never be afraid to continue to just look around for more, to find out more information and expand your mind and your consciousness and whatever you're doing in your life.
If I can do it, anyone can do it. This one is a little tricky because beneath the surface, do I believe anyone is capable of anything they put their mind to? Yes. Do I believe that sometimes someone has to be the first one to show what's possible for everyone else to make the adjustments in their mind to say that they can do it too? Yes. However, again, it takes more than just believing that you can do it, seeing someone else can do it, and saying that it's possible. That's a start. That's a very good start. It's an important start, but it's not the only thing that's needed or necessary to make that leap or make that jump from believing that you could do it and bringing it into fruition. I believe that people who say things like that, they've overcome challenges. They at one time believed that they weren't capable of doing it, and in their mindset, they were so negative towards being able to make a move like that, to achieve something, to reach their goal, to reach their dreams. They felt as though they was at such a deficit that anybody should be able to do it if they could. And in many cases, that is the case. But that's kind of selling people a false bill of goods if they're not in a proper mindset. They're not equipped to handle the road or the walk that it would take, the path, to walk that path. They're not equipped to handle that. So that could be a very detrimental thing to someone's psyche. That could be very detrimental to someone's personal growth. That could be detrimental to someone's confidence if they're buying into the fact that if this person did it, I can do it. Because then you can get into that self-talk when you start to compare yourself to that person. And you never want to do that. You never, never, never want to compare yourself to someone else. That should be used only as a foundation for you to build on, but never the foundation itself. Because we're all not created equal. We are all individuals, but we're all part of a collective where we learn from each other, we help each other to grow, we expand, and we manifest. But just because one person did it doesn't mean that you can do it. Just because you did it doesn't mean that I can. Just because I did it doesn't mean that you can. It's possible, but it's not automatic.
Assess your skills and assess your will. That's what I would say to that one. If they did it, I can do it too. Make sure you assess your willpower and the skills and the effort that you're willing to put in to get her done. And number one is new year, new me. It's the beginning of 2019, so I don't know. It's probably quiet down a little bit now since we're in February, but typically at the beginning of the year, everybody's talking about new year, new me, new year. Everybody's ready, geared up, and raring to go to be this totally brand new, different person, to stomp out their goals, to start on this new path of being the best person they could be. However, when being so gung-ho about something, it can cause us to get stagnant. And it usually happens around 35, 45 days later, especially if you haven't consistently done the work every day of putting in the action steps of becoming the new year, or the new you in the new year, or whatever time frame that you're doing. And I think it's also important to say that you're still the same you. You may be making changes for your greater good that you want to happen, to live your best life. You may be wanting to make those changes, but never forget that you're still the same you. You're just trying to improve yourself. I think sometimes we get so excited and gung-ho about the changes that we want to make that we put the pressure on ourselves. And with that added pressure, if we're not able to meet our goal by XYZ time frame, we start to beat ourselves up. And in turn, it makes us stagnant because we stop and we're like, oh man, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it by this time. So I suck. I ain't worth nothing. So now I ain't gonna do shit. Well, I'm not gonna do anything. And you essentially defeat your own self. Give yourself time to make the changes that you want to make. Know that it's not necessarily a brand new you. You're just making an improved you. And whatever time it took for you to get to where you are, if it's something, a habit that you're trying to change, that you're going to need that amount of time plus more to actually change yourself fully. So don't feel bad if you are not able to make an instant change at the click of your fingers and the click of your red heels, Dorothy, and just up and change yourself. Give yourself time, be patient with yourself, be compassionate with yourself. Know that your intentions are there, your heart is in the right place, you have the right goals in mind for you to achieve whatever you want to achieve, and just give yourself that little bit of grace to take it slow or take it at the pace that you need to take it at. And the same thing, like Sai was saying before about with the quote, if someone else can do it, I can do it too. Don't try to run the race like them. Know who you are in order to be able to do it for yourself, so you don't get that imposter syndrome and believe that there's something wrong with you because you can't do it just like somebody else did it. This was fun. And I would love to hear some of the other quotes and sayings and idioms that you guys in the audience have heard before, that it may have worked once for you or a few times, and then you're like, I can't get with this no more. Or you may see it and you're like, nope, that one's not gonna work for me. I would love to hear your guys' feedback on some other quotes and sayings out there that can cause people to be stagnant, or it's like you're in a spot or a position where that quote is not for you at this time. So don't even look at it or try it. I think that would be interesting to see, because I think also based on where you are in your life at this point depends on what type of affirmations or positive sayings that you need to be using. But it's very personal because only you know where you truly are. And people can post the best memes, the best motivations, the best videos to inspire, and you can be inspired all day long. But until you actually take those steps and put forth the action to change or to do what it is you know you want to do that you're being so inspired by. One thing, Sarah, before we go, a lot of people, when I post stuff, they'll be like, oh my gosh, I needed to hear this. And the first thing I want to say is, okay, so what you gonna do now since you heard this? Because I was there before. You know, we fall in love with the positivity sometimes, I think, too much. And we get into this this euphoric feeling of, yes, I finally got that message that I needed. And then the next day, we're still doing the same thing, that we needed that message to inspire us to change or to do something different. But 2 weeks from now, we're still doing the same thing, and we're looking for our next hit of the next positive, inspirational, motivational quote to help us get out of our funk. All right, guys. So this has been another edition of the Mental Health Cypher. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you favorite the show, share it out with your comrades and your friends and your family, and let us know what you think of the show. Leave us a voice message and support the show through our Patreon account and through our donations page on anchor.fm. You guys enjoy your week, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Peace.
Peace.